What's up, y'all? It's PG Coinage back with another video. Before we dive in, let's take a look at what Psalms 46, verse 1 through 3 has to say. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore we will not fear, though the earth give way, though the mountains be moved into the heart of the sea, though its waters roar and foam, though the mountains tremble at its swelling. Context notwithstanding, I interpret this as, regardless of what we're going through, either the reality or our perception of how bad things are, even if the earth is literally splitting apart and devouring itself, we are called to trust in our Lord, and He will give us rest. Alrighty, y'all. Today we'll be discussing the Weimar Republic. It was the democratic government that was established in Germany after World War I. After World War I, under the Treaty of Versailles, Germany was inundated with reparations. They owed massive sums of gold and foreign currency to other countries. And the proposed solution was not to raise taxes or cut spending, but to print more money. In January of 1923, a loaf of bread cost 250 marks, which was, an abbreviated version of their currency at the time. And in November of 1923, it cost over 200 billion marks. Savings accounts were decimated. Bartering became the norm. It was the only means of survival. People were bartering eggs for shoes, furniture for potatoes, jewelry for coal. The paper currency was burned in place of firewood because firewood was so expensive. To keep warm, they burned the paper currency. It's crazy. Farmers, the aristocrats, business owners, and precious metal holders remained afloat. Gold and silver did not lose its intrinsic or perceived value. It was trusted, remained its holding in purchasing power, and people utilize domestic and foreign coins, tableware, silverware, and jewelry, and the government started catching on, and they passed a law to effectively restrict private ownership. They asked citizens to turn their precious metals in, and history typically is not written about or by those who follow the status quo. So there were a select few who held on to what they already had. Eventually came the Rentenmark, and that was actually backed by something. It was backed by land and industry. But by then, the damage was already done. Trust was gone in institutions. Debtors benefited. Savers were punished. And that absolutely paved the way for Mr. Hitler to come into power. So the question that I have is, was the game plan to absolutely destroy the value of their currency to quash their debt? And if that is the case, the U.S. government primarily has debt in U.S. dollars. They have churned and churned U.S. dollars into circulation. We have lost a metric butt ton of purchasing power. It's insane. And again, the conspiracy theorist in me is that not where we're headed right now? Is the U.S. not actively pursuing that? Anyways, trust in the Lord, buy precious metals. Y'all have a good evening.